Are you over 50 and struggling with your weight? If so, this is the video that's going to change your life. Let me begin by saying this weight loss, I don't like to say loss because when you lose something you always want it back, but getting rid of fat, getting rid of the excess everything, it's a challenge, it's a struggle, right? And it feels like I've been on the struggle bus for my entire life. So 10 years ago, I made a decision to get on a diet. Am I the only one who's ever done that? And every morning I'm get on a diet. And then, every Sunday I would say that. And then Monday I'd get up and lunchtime would come and I'm like, gosh, I forgot I'm supposed to be on a diet today. And then something snapped, clicked. I love social media. I was on Instagram and I was scrolling through my Instagram feed and I saw this girl I used to work out with, and she was on the Stairmaster or treadmill or something. And every day she would post, and I would get mad. I'm legit just laying on the couch, scrolling, and I'm like getting mad because she's working out. Like, how crazy is that, right? So I hit her up and I'm like, hey, how many calories does it take to lose 1 pound? Because I believe in math, right? We know you burn X amount of calories, you're gonna lose X amount of weight, you eat such much, like all that sort of stuff. And she was like, girl, I have no idea how many calories it takes to lose a pound. Just come work out with me. I was like, okay. And I went to work out with her and I absolutely loved it. I fell in love with it. It was hard, it was tough, it was manly. They had like tires in there. It was like some little back alley sort of gym sort of thing. I loved it. I got hooked, I got attached. I got hooked so much I would go twice a day. And then your mindset and the people you're around, all of that starts to change as well, like the people you're with. And I legit would hit up someone and say, hey, you want to work out? I had so many different people on my phone so that I could work out, because I remember that Beyonce CD came out, Partition, I don't know, but every single morning I would like play that as I would go to the gym, and boom, I was about a little over 200 pounds at the time, because I remember I went to the doctor and it went over that clunk, where it's like 150 clunk, and then that 200 clunk. I was like, oh my gosh, 200 clunk. And I was like, all right, Tina, it's time to do something, right? Because when you look at your clothes, you can get like a large, an extra large, and it's like tight or whatever. So in my closet, I stopped buying numbered clothes because I had like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then when it got to like that 15, 16, I was like, we're not doing that. I did like the extra large, but that was then, right? That was probably in 2000, we're in 25 now, 2014, 15, somewhere around there. And people are not going to tell you you're gaining weight. People are not going to tell you you're fat. This is one reason why. First of all, they can't tell. Like, you can't even tell when you start gaining weight. It's just like one morning you wake up and you're like, ah! Like, what happened? Where did that extra thigh come from? Where did that extra skin come from? Like, it just happens overnight, it feels like, right? Let me get my composure back. Anyway, my mom says to me back in 2015, 14, something like that, she's like, Tina, you're getting a little fat. Thank you, Mommy, for saying that. But, a little fat, I wasn't a little fat, I was fat, right? And the craziest thing is, then and now, it's a journey, right? We have life's traumas, tragedies, all those things. That's going to be up, down, having children, not having children, going through menopause, not sleeping, losing a job, getting a divorce. Like, we have all these things in our lives, right, ladies? And we're like, I just want to scream and pull our hair out. So I got it. I lost from that 202, 205, whatever. I went down to 155. I was like, hey, I papi chula. I loved my workouts. I loved my eating habits. I loved everything. I was focused. I was here. And then I started teaching fitness classes, coaching, all that great stuff. It was lovely, lovely. Then life's traumas happened, lots of them. I'm not going to get into those details because it really doesn't matter. It was a lot. And then COVID came. We all went through COVID. COVID was good for me. I was loving COVID. I transitioned from teaching in person because I taught every class except for Zumba. You name it, I taught it. And then I went to virtual, teaching virtually. And it was good. We had a tribe on here. We're good. And then more life's ups and downs came, and I still stuck in strong. And I remember, this is where I think the shift happened for me. I did my very first full marathon in Paris, a dream, a goal I always wanted. And right after that, I had surgery. I got breast implants when I was 28, and I had to get them redone. So that year I said, okay, I'm gonna do the marathon first and then get them done, because what was the reasoning behind that? Healthy reasons. Oh, because after you do it, after you get the surgery, you can't work out. So I'm like, that's perfect. So right after the surgery, oh, one more thing I forgot to tell you. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie What the Health. Back in 2015, I saw What the Health, and I was on this kick of like, no more meat, nothing like that. I mean, I started gradually, but let's just say from like 2015 to then, I wasn't eating meat at all, period, point blank. Sometimes I had some fish because I started off with the fish, but then it was like no meat. And some people say, oh, you should eat meat, you need it, blah, blah, blah. And I would get weak, I would get pains, I would get like all this stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not eating meat, because of the little animals, all that sort of stuff. And then it was after the marathon when I started just, my heart was just, I would legit do like 30 seconds of something. That is how I would feel. I'd go up a flight of stairs, I'm out of breath. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Now, mind you, I was 49 at the time, I remember, because that was the same age my father died, at 49 from a massive heart attack. So I was super scared. I was like, what is going on with me? You know, because it's your genes. The way you look, 80% is diet, 10% is 80% is nutrition, 10% is your genes, the way your family looks, and the other 10% is exercise. So I'm like, what is going on with me? I'm gonna die. So I went to the doctor and I said, something's wrong with my heart. I don't know what it is. I've been working out for years, right? I mean, I ran a marathon. I ran a full marathon, 26.2 miles, and now I can't even like do 30 seconds. So they put a heart rate monitor on me for 2 weeks. I had to do a stress test. They did this EKG thing. They were like doing all these things. And then they said, come back in 2 weeks after the test. So they look at my stuff and I come back. Now the doctor that came in, I don't know if you guys, your doctors, the way they look, right? Meaning physically fit, if they have a belly, if they're overweight. This particular doctor, he was a little overweight. He had a belly and he's sitting there and he's got his little clipboard and he's like, well, it looks like all of your organs are perfect. Everything is wonderful. Your organs are great, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so why does it hurt when I run? He says, well, and these are his exact words, you have bad blood. I'm like, what? So he says, your blood type is -O, and you need meat. You need to eat meat. And then he starts mentioning all this other stuff. And I'm just like, huh? And he's like, cereal. You can eat cereal and that'll help your blood. I said, so like Fruity Pebbles? Because Fruity Pebbles was my thing. I loved Fruity Pebbles. Every single night when I was a big girl, I'd be in bed and I'd eat my Fruity Pebbles. I'd have some type of cereal before I went to bed. That was like my comfort. You know how babies have like their blankies? Or the cereal was my comfort food. I said, I could have Fruity Pebbles? Oh my gosh, I was so excited. So then I started eating red meat slowly because I hadn't eaten it for years, right? From 2015 and now we're at 2021, 22, something like that. 22 maybe, 23, 22, I don't know. Anyway, I started eating meat slowly and it's very hard for me, right? Let's fast forward to today. So, menopause. I just want to say, we love you, Eve. We love you, Eve, for eating that apple. We love you for giving us the strength. We love you for making this thing called womanhood challenging, because we love a challenge. Yes, yes, we're going to embrace this menopause. We're going to embrace the challenge because we got to deal with it, right? So since we have to deal with it, let's deal with it. So let me bring you to today and why I'm doing this video and all this sort of stuff. So I live in Tampa, Florida now. Like I told you, I had my ups and downs. And you're not supposed to weigh yourself every single day. But I do, every day. Sometimes it'd be to the point where I'd weigh myself 2-3 times a day. I'd exercise, always weigh myself. Exercise, weigh myself, poop, weigh myself, exercise, poop, pray, whatever. Anyway, in Tampa, they had a storm and floods flooded or whatever, and my scale died. I have an electrical scale. Now my scale is an amazing scale. It tells you your weight, how much protein in your body, how much water in your body, how much body fat, how much everything. And it goes all the way back. So my scale broke because of the water, whatever, and I got batteries that didn't work. So let's just say I was out of a scale, my scale, for about a month or two. Yeah, a month or two. I didn't have a scale, and I was freaking. I'm like, I need a scale, because I need to know where I am, right? So many things before it's really no excuse, but I'm gonna share it because I need to share it because it just really breaks my heart when I think about how it happened, because it happened overnight. It happened overnight as I look at my thighs here. Anyway, so different things can affect the way you look besides the food, besides the exercise. Because let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. I exercise. I work out every single day. Did I say that? Every single day I work out. I move my body. I'm going. Eating. Let me tell you, the chocolate cakes I don't have, right? I legit, when Lynn started, I stopped eating bread. I can't tell you the last time I had bread. I have not had bread. I'm sorry, calm down, Tina. Back to the point. Anyway, I didn't have the scale, and stress. If you're stressed, that's gonna stop you from losing weight. Your cortisol levels are going to spike. The spiking of the cortisol levels, that's gonna stop you from losing weight. Let's talk about sleep. If you're not sleeping, you're not letting your body rest, you're not gonna lose weight. So we said rest, sleeping, we said cortisol levels, we said stress. I'm trying to think of the outside factors that we don't think about that's gonna stop you from losing weight. Water, if you're not drinking adequate amounts of water. So I'm gonna stick with those 4 things. Oh, and travel. If you're traveling a lot, that's gonna challenge you because you're up and down, and then if you have spikes of crazy eating. So whenever I go to Jersey, my bestest friend, she cooks so good, I legit eat like crazy when I'm there. Sometimes, okay, most of the time. Anyway, so those 6 things are my things. Traveling, eating crazy once in a while, the stress, the not sleeping, the not too much water, and I said something else which I can't remember. Outside factor, stress, cortisol levels, not sleeping. Yeah, anyway, so I bring you to today. I know this is a long video, I'm sorry. I just had to express myself like Madonna. Express yourself, hey, go if you want. You guys remember that song back in the day? If you show me. Anyway, so I'm here to tell you where I began, 202, 200, whatever. Then I got to that beautiful 155, and then to where I am today. I'm gonna say it. I'm at, well, today it was like 199, whatever, but I'm rolling between 199, 201, 202 pounds, 200 pounds. Like, are you serious? Like, a lot of mercy. And I'm saying this for accountability, right? I'm 5'8", by the way, so I can wear it I can hide it, right? You can wear, just suck it in. So looking at me, you know, if I stand up, let me see, let me bring this back some, back some so you can kind of see. I don't know. Okay, forget that. Just go to my Instagram if you want to see what I look like with a full body. Anyway, what is going on here? Oh, my little thing's tight. Okay. Anyway, back to the, well, there you go. You can see a little bit, right? Anyway, like I said, go to my Instagram if you want to see how I look. So this morning, which attributed to this video, I was really, I take hot yoga. I love hot yoga. One, because you just sweat like crazy. And depending on the environment you're around, the people you're around, and for me, this is all, everything I'm saying is for me. I look around the room and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm the biggest person in the room. And I'm just like, okay. So I leave and then I'm just thinking. And then actually before that, I looked in the mirror because I went in the bathroom for something, and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, and I'm just looking at myself and I'm like, who are you? Where did you come from? Where did these thighs come from? It's like I said, it just happened overnight. And I'm sitting in the car, I'm driving home, and I'm just like, I call a friend. You know how it's like that game, call a friend, whatever, and I call a friend. I'm like, I know you don't have an answer for me. I know you don't have an answer. You may say go to the doctor, but I'm just venting. I just need to get this out. And I shared, you know, how I'm just so confused and lost and frustrated and sad and just like angry and like all the feelings. And like I remember a couple weeks ago in February, we went to Tulum, my daughter and I, and I'm on the beach with her and her friends, and you know, they look like supermodels, and I'm looking, and I'm there, and I'm like, I look like a baby whale. And my daughter looks at me and she smiles and she says, well, baby whales have big hearts. And I'm like, she sure does know how to make me feel good, right? So this morning when I'm venting or just like releasing all these things, I say to the person, and they're like, you know, I'm like the biggest person in the room. And you know, the person's like, well, at least you're in the room. And I'm like, you have a point, right? At least I'm in the room. And then the person says, well, are you taking, because I'm on the scale every day, it says, well, are you taking your measurements? I said, I take my measurements every week. I'm on the scale every day. Yeah, nothing changing. I can feel the fat here. And, you know, I'm just like screaming and crying and all these things. So I get out the shower and I'm like, and I see my measurements. And I'm like, well, when's the last time you measured yourself, Tina? And let me get the paper so I can actually give you exact numbers. So the last time I measured myself was 3/18, March 18th. And I said, let me take them today. Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something, okay? As we said, the scale has not moved. So the scale still looks crazy, but I lost 1 inch in my waist. I lost 2 inches in my chest. Nothing in the hips. The hips don't lie. It's hard to lose from the hips. And my thighs, 1.5 inches, which is a total of 1.5 inches. So this is what I've lost in the past week and a half, almost listed around 2 weeks right here. And the crazy thing is I started to down myself. Like I was like, that's not even that much. He's like, stop it. It's something, right? So the point of this whole thing is I want you, if you want to join me on this new transition of my fitness journey. Monday, we are starting a challenge with my group. Some people are doing 21-day challenge. I am doing 75 hard. And another thing, are you really doing what you think you're doing? Because in my mind, I'm like, yes, I work out. Yes, I do work out every day. I do. And I do give a lot, meaning like 100%, 150% when I'm working out, sweating and pushing and all that stuff. Because I see people working out and I'm like, you might as well just stay on the couch and eat some flippin' well bonbons. But no, I work out. But I remember, see what happens when you first start out, if you're not fit, like if you're overweight, if you have like a lot of fat, it's easier for you to lose weight quick. It's easier for you to lose weight, period. But me, don't ask me where the accent's coming from, but like being that I've been exercising all the time, I've got the muscle, I've got all that, it's harder for me. I have to work harder. For example, look at your numbers, right? Yesterday I was in yoga, I burned 400 calories in 1 hour in yoga. Love it. Resting heart rate. These are the numbers. And this morning I was like, the math is not mathing. It's not mathing, but it is mathing because look, 4.5 pounds. So the math is mathing. It may not have mathed on the scale, but it's mathing on the inches. And then looking at your numbers here, like for example, your resting heart rate. My resting heart rate is 5960, which is really low. Average heart rate, the average person, look, check out your heart rate, 72 beats per minute is the average person, which means I have to work so much harder to get my heart rate up. With that being said, that's the end of this video because I'm getting hungry. I'll be back weekly, maybe daily, I don't know, hop on to get more insights on Tina's fitness journey. Monday, starting 75 hard. I want you to join me, join us, join the community, have some fun. If you find that you're struggling with getting rid of the excess fat, getting rid of the stress, all that sort of stuff, lean in because we got you, and I lost 4.5 pounds. All right, I gotta go now. I hope this has helped you in some sort of bit. Don't be so hard on yourself if you're working. If not, get to work, all right? Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Bye.